Yeah, good evening, everyone. Today's session is on domains of artificial intelligence. So, basically, all of us are using the applications of different domains of artificial intelligence, right? And let us understand one by one each of the domain and what are the different applications of these domains, right? So there are three domains of AI. The first is data science, second is computer vision, and the third is NLP, that is natural language processing. So we will be covering in this session each of the domain and what are the different applications of these domains. Right, the first domain is computer vision. Now, what do you mean by computer vision? Basically, computer vision is when an object can be like the computer can identify the object from an image, right? So there are different, like on my screen there is one picture, and you may are able to see like there are clouds, there is house, there is car. So these are the objects that are present in this image. So how the computer is going to segregate, how the computer is going to see this particular image? So this is with the vision, with the domain, that is computer vision. So we are going to make the computer understand like these are the number of images, these are the number of pictures, and within a picture you may have different objects which can be identified. And there is, like from a video also you may recognize the different pictures. So this is how it is possible with the help of computer vision. So this is very widely used, like computer vision offers widely used applications, and nowadays everything is like we are using images on phones, we are using images on roads also, in hardware, in healthcare sector also. So like suppose I am talking on about face recognition machines. So I have to unlock my phone and I have to give the pattern as my face pick. So it is going to identify my face and going to have the input as a image. So this is how it works. So basically, hmm, let us see some of the applications of this. So here you can see from this image what kind of this scene is. Where are the cars, where are the trees, where are the flowers, where is the car, where is the house, right? And where is this clouds? So the whole scenery, the different objects can be identified from an image. So this could be done with the help of computer vision, right? Caller, right? Let us see what is basically how they are useful and in which type of application it is used, right? You may have some safety applications, like suppose I am moving on the express highway and I am going to capture through a camera, like there are number of images and there is number of, like this you may see it, some accident has taken place, and now I want to identify what are the different object, who has done this. So this can be captured using computer vision. Vision, like computer can predict or basically checks your car speed using some sensors and going to generate the challans, right? Then in again some other images you have like in healthcare sector, you may have some images of some x-rays or ultrasounds, and then according to this the patient is prescribed some medicines or predicts the in future, like the patient should have the particular disease. And again in the security cameras also you may have such kind of thing, like while something, some fraud, or some like some people are stealing something or this kind of thing. For maintaining security also we may have cameras, and that is recognizing the faces, right? Next we have some comfort, or you may say in some gaming part, we may use the computer vision also. And like access, when we usually we have Google Lens, everybody has Google Photos also, right? You click some photos, it automatically makes the albums, it segregates the photos, it automatically segregates your, it captures your picture and save the picture in some album which contain all the images of your face. Or suppose I am taking the pictures of my daughter, so maybe it is creating another album and storing all the pictures of my daughter. So this is how basically Google Lens have some intelligence, right? It has some vision, it has some intelligence to segregate the images. So it finds the some patterns in the data, and accordingly it is segregating the data, right? So these are some of the applications of computers. Let us see more applications. The next application is optical character recognition. Now what is that? It basically scans the document, it reads the document, scans the images and read the characters, and then obviously it is going to convert it into text. Now after this is converted into text, it may be read by the NLP machines. Next we have we have a camera, and I have clicked some images. Now it is detecting the different objects or different faces from an image. So this is how face detection takes place. It basically extracts your features, right? And it says like this is one object, this is second object, this is third object, whatever objects they may have. Like in this part, if you are using Zoom, or if you are using Google Meet, you maybe have virtual backgrounds, right? And it is identifying the face of the suppose I am speaking something, and at the back I'm having some virtual background. So the computer is basically recognizing my face from the virtual background. So this is one of the application of CV only. Next we have smile detection. Suppose I want to capture some uh, emojis, or you may say some face smiles, how it is going to express. like I want to see that if the student, if the child is smiling, capture the image. So if the if the student is not smiling, don't capture it. So you may see on my screen that there is one filter, that is smile shutter flow. So it has basically captured number of images, like the first, second, third, fourth, and fifth, and then it segregates the different images the with the smile captured. Like when the person, when the child is smiling, it is showing that now in this image the child is smiling. So how it is recognizing? It has some intelligence. Like if the expression is perfect, the student is, or the child is smiling, then it is going to give an emoji of smiling. And this is how it is basically, this smile detection system works. So there are different, how it is done, it is done on images, so the data is image itself. Then we have some images, 3D images also, that can be recognized by this. Then we have some object recognition machines, like you may be seen in some supermarkets or some markets. Some cameras are used to detect and identify, which basically identify the items also. So and then it makes a bill. Then we have this is the image vision based biometrics. So suppose like I'm going to unlock my phone, I may be capturing my images. Now how it is segregated, like you may see the image of a girl. So basically vision based system is taking the pictures of the what eyes and identify the patterns. log in without a password. Suppose I'm not going to have a password, right? I'm going to have such kind of thing which is going to take the input as my fingerprint or my face as a password. Like suppose I want to unlock my phone also, I may be giving my face as a pattern, as a password to unlock my face. So this is how basically these are how CV is used, how computer vision is used, right, to recognize the image. Now this is object recognition in mobile phone also. So you have seen in Google Lens, it is basically capturing the images, and accordingly it suggests you it could be this, it could be text. It opens one dictionary and you can see this could be from which place, right? So this can be done through CV only. Some special effects, this is again some one of the feature of CV. Motion capturing also, you may convert it into this part. Like what could be the Snapchat filters, you have everyone has is using this Snapchat filters, like it recognizing your features and accordingly it is going to put some emojis into your, yeah, it gives you an effect on your features. Then you have in sports applications also, like in sports you may have some softwares which can be used as a, like to capture something and is going to predict according to the image, like it's a foul or not. Then the most important and widely used application is self-driving cars, or you may have smart cars, right? So basically self-driving cars, or you may say the smart cars which has some sensors, which is basically the vision system is going to identify the objects that are having on the road. So it is going to identify the different objects on the road. Google cars, you have cameras, it is the car is going to identify the objects that is around you. The next domain is natural language processing, the most widely used application of AI. Nowadays, everyone is using, let me give you example, Alexa, Google Nest, Google Assistant. Everybody is using the applications of natural language processing. Let me tell you one by one each of the example. The first is translation application. Whatever you want to translate, like you have Google Translate. In some language, it is they have number of fonts. They have a data set of fonts. So you give as an input some in some English language. It is going to translate it in some other language. How it is going to understand it? It is going to have a font data set through which it can translate it. The second thing is your email filters. You're classifying email. What are those? Like suppose I have received a mail on my Gmail account that this product is on sale, or you have this thing discounted on your this thing. So how it segregates, how it directly move into the promotion mail. Basically NLP, natural language processing, understands the content of the mail. Whatever is written on the mail, it is going to identify some keywords. How it works, it basically identify the keywords from your mail, and then it basically segregates into different folder, whether it is social mail, whether it is spam, whether it is primary mail, whether it is like you have some social media mails. So you may be receiving some social, like you have some social accounts like LinkedIn or Facebook or Orkut or any other type of thing, and it is going you have some requests, you have some suggestions there. So you may be receiving in your Gmail account, and automatically it is segregating, it is reading the content of the email and segregating the email into different folders, right? Then we have sentimental analysis. So nowadays this is very important, like whenever you give an input, whenever you give an input to the user, right? Whenever you want to give the input to the user, yeah, or you want to show something like it is type of thing. So how it is analyzed, like you give emojis, you give ratings. What are these? These are basically you are showing your sentiments either through ranking or either through ratings or either through some stars. Like I am using one application, big basket, right? After using that application, like I have ordered some items or I have ordered some products. After these products I have ordered, once I am closing that particular app, it is going to ask some give ratings to this particular software, give ratings to this particular app. What is that? Basically it is going to identify my feedback about that system through different types like emojis, right? You may be marking some stars for that, you may be giving some emojis to that, you are reacting something and the system is going to understand, right? This is one type of one application of NLP itself. Then we have personal voice assistant. So personal voice assistant, or you may have digital assistants, or you may have chatbots, Google assistant. Basically it is uh, digital assistant which is going to provide you the informations, the frequently asked, like suppose I am going to ask some questions to Google Nest, how it is going to understand my language, how I am talking to a machine and it is going to react according to that and giving me some answers. Basically it understands my language and I can talk to that particular machine also. How is it possible? Through the domain that is natural language processing. So this is all basically when our text, when a language is processed and a language is understood by the machine, it is one of the application of artificial intelligence, one of the domain of artificial intelligence, that is what? That is this thing, natural language processing, right? Then we have predicting disease. What is predicting disease? Predicting disease is basically when we talk about uh, you may say, suppose I am going to give you one some of the factors of a disease of the patients, like patient is giving some of the symptoms of the disease. It is going to predict the disease, what kind of disease the patient may have in future, right? Like suppose a patient is having this much of diabetic, this much level of diabetes, or this much level of BP, or this much level of matlab, whatever the weight means, what is the weight of the person, what is the age of the person, accordingly the system is going to prescribe, is going to predict the disease. So yes, there are number of things that could be predicted using the domain that is NLP. But your image information retrieval, your summarization, cementation, these all are part of natural language processing. Fake news detection, what is that? Like suppose you have some keywords and these some news are there, that is Twitter is showing some tweets, they may be later on it may be recognized by the system like this is fake news. How? Because it analyzes that blogs, it analyzes that tweets, and based on that it is going to predict like this kinds of this kind of news may be fake, right? So this is again one of the domain of AI. Next we have the last domain is data science. Now in data science what we have is basically data science basically deals with your data sets. When you have huge amount of data sets, right? When we have like a data set, suppose I want to predict the price of gold. What will be the price of gold after 1 month? So I may be taking some data set that is of 10 years or 5 years data set of gold. Like in future, in past it was like this. And then identifying the patterns in the data. Accordingly, it is going to predict in future, right? Or suppose I'm taking an example of Ola or Uber. Like suppose I want to go from Delhi to Noida. It is going to predict me. the advanced prices, what are the prices that will be taken by the user, or it is going to provide me the information of traffic also. Like if you follow this route, you may have such kind of traffic, the traffic is high, the traffic is low. Or if you are following this route, then the traffic information is provided. So it in advance you will get the traffic information. Whereas like you may have the price comparison, policy bazaar, like this kinds of websites, or Netflix, the one of the majorly used website that is data science, by data science is Netflix. Like suppose today I am watching one old song, right? Yeah, old movie. And again the next day, very next day, I'm going to open the Netflix. It is going to recommend me, so it suggests me some old movies. How it is going to understand my choices, my preferences, my selections? It is through machine learning only, and the domain is data science under recommendation systems. You may have used YouTube recommendations, you may have used YouTube's, and under which it is suggesting you the like number of like suppose today I have watched some videos, and later on in future, like tomorrow or day after tomorrow, I'm going to have some more, I want to watch some more videos. So YouTube is going to recommend me, like you may refer to this because previously you like this. Or you may say, this is another example I'm going to tell you, like on Amazon I am purchasing something, uh, some product. Later on Amazon is showing me ki these are the products, you may like it, or you may have to basically you may like to purchase it. How it is possible? Through your patterns. Basically the machine learns from your pattern. So these are some applications of data science. And what we have learned today is, what are the domains of AI? So there are three domains of AI. The first is NLP, natural language processing. The second is computer vision, and the third is data science, right? And how they are segregated, we have discussed one by one each of them, and we have discussed the applications of each domain as well, and how they are used in our daily life. We all are using this, but we don't know this is AI. We don't know this is one of the domain of AI. So this is very much important when we are using anything, whether it is related to images. It could be using the domain that is computer vision. If it is using the domain of suppose I am talking about this thing, language understanding or Google Assistant, it can be natural language processing, right? So once we have like once we have understood the data types, the data sets, like whatever is given to into like suppose I'm taking an example of image, right? Image is given as an input to the system. So, how the image is understood by the computer? Which domain is used? Yes, it is computer vision, right? If some language, some email is provided to the computer system to identify whether it is spam or not. So, how it is going to understand the content of the email? It would be the domain of using the domain of AI, that is natural language processing. And if I'm going to say you like, what is the price of my mutual fund after 5 years? Right. So I may be referring to some, you may say, I may be referring to some website, which domain it is going to have, that is data science, because it is working, it is basically having the data set. A huge amount of data set is used, like last 5 years or last 10 years data set is used to predict the information in advance. So this is how these data sets are used, and there are number of domains that are used, right, according to the input itself. So in the coming lectures we will be learning more about each of the domain, how the different applications are developed under each of the domain, how which language we are going to use, we will be studying one by one in the coming series. So thank you.